Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If I sound a little stuffy, because I am a little stuffy, but that's besides the point. I have recently moved my books back home. I finished my senior year of college, and so I'm back in my old room, my old stomping ground. I don't know how, but it feels like I have less space than I did in my tiny student apartment. But I think it's just because I have a lot more furniture in this room. So now I have my bed, a bigger desk, a nightstand, a dresser, and two 6-shelf cube shelves, my big bookshelf over here, and then a smaller one. We're gonna be doing all my books. I have some books right here, and these aren't all staying here. I just put them on here because I was transferring books back from my apartment to here. This is the issue. I'm gonna take all these books off, and then I'm gonna take all the other books off there, and then we're gonna pile them to shelves. But here is the situation. This box is full of trinkets that I put on my bookshelves. I also got 2 new trinkets. I got a Yelena and Bucky like thing from the movie theater for Thunderbolts, and they go on the little like drink cups. But first things first, I'm going to clear off these. I have like all my little Sunny Angel boxes that I keep, so I'm gonna clear all this off, and then I'm gonna show you everything. Now I'm going to take all of these books and put them over there, and then I'm going to separate them into piles of what books I'm going to want to keep on these shelves versus that shelf. I still have no idea how I'm going to arrange it. I'm going to keep this one relatively the same, so I'm going to keep my Emily Henry Magnolia Parks up here, and I kind of know which books go on this shelf, but the rest of the shelves I don't have a clue at all, so. Okay, so here are the books. So the plan is this one is going to be pretty similar to what it was. This is going to be Magnolia Park shelf. This is going to be Emily Henry shelf versus like other romances. So I'm thinking like my Vari McFarlane books and my Sally Rooney books, fantasy shelf. My favorite fantasy books. So I have the Holly Black stuff, and then maybe Six of Crows duology. And then I have my Hunger Games set, and then some of my other favorite books. Other favorites right here, my Frederick Bachman books. For this shelf, I'm thinking it's gonna be other favorites that I really enjoy. And for these shelves, I think it's just gonna be overflow. I'm gonna start tackling this area and separating them into what I want to be on this shelf and then what I want to be on this shelf, and also like genres and stuff like that. So I also have some books that I haven't read, so those are gonna be like a TBR area. So we'll probably put that on this shelf. When I had this, my TBR in my other place, it was in 2 or 3 cubbies. And so I think if I just have it on one shelf, it's gonna be a little bit better. So that's the plan, Stan. I think right now is I'm going to go through each pile. So these 2 piles, I don't know if you can see them, you probably can. These 2 piles right here are romances. There is like one YA romance in here because it's Allie Hazelwood, but I'm going to see which books from each pile I want to have on the big shelf. So over here already, I already have my TBR, and then I have my Heartstopper books, my Lee Bardugo books are going to go on this shelf. And then I'm going to go through each one. I think I'm gonna have most of this stack on to that shelf because I do really enjoy these books. I think I'm gonna put my Infernal Devices over here or onto that bigger shelf. I'm gonna show you some of the piles. So this is adult fantasy, YA fantasy right here, more YA fantasy right here. Behind here is adult fantasy, so this pile is adult fantasy. For someone that doesn't read that much fantasy anymore, I do have a lot of fantasy. And then this is general fiction slash literary fiction, and then I have some classics right there. But adult fantasy right here, adult fantasy right here. These are my Cassie Clare books. I put my YA mysteries right there, so like Holly Jackson and Jennifer Lynn Barnes are over there, mystery thrillers. Adult fantasy here. And that's pretty much it. I think I will have an extra room to decorate and grow, so I'm going to like display more books more instead of just like having them just on the shelves. So I'm excited for that. I don't know if I'm overestimating how much I think I can fit onto this shelf, so. There might be a drastic change in quality because the other camera died, but I have finished for the most part about where everything's gonna go. I think I don't know if I'm changing my mind because this shelf, I really love the way this one looks. I have my Magnolia Parks books right here, and then I have some like bookish posters. So I have my poster that I made of How Many Loves Do You Get in a Lifetime, and then a Normal People book movie poster, like those like minimalist movie posters that I have all over my walls. And then I have the same one of The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, the movie with Rachel Zegler. But I don't really care for these books on the bottom too much, but I have those. Onto the bigger shelf right here. I like the way this looks. I'm really happy with this. I'm happy with my Jessa Hastings shelf and then my Emily Henry shelf. I just spaced them out. I think they look really cool like this. And if you don't like it, don't tell me you don't like it. Don't tell me you don't like it. This one I'm not too sold on. I might put my Steve Pop figure somewhere else. Not everything is together. And I don't care. And then this bottom shelf is what I'm not really happy with at all. This used to be all hardcovers, like stacked up all the way there, because this part of the shelf is like really deep. That's just like other fantasy books. I have Brandon Sanderson down there, Stephanie Garber, Sabarta here. But I do love those books, so that's why they're on the big shelf. This shelf is what I'm not vibing with because my bed is right here, so I'm like looking over at this area because it's my desk also. Here's my TBR, all the books that I haven't read yet. I have romances leading into like general fiction, literary fiction. Most of these are like really highly rated books by me and stuff like that. And then I have more general fiction, literary fiction. My movie edition of Little Women. Some just duologies that I really enjoy. So Leigh Bardugo stops right here. And then I have some other books that I really enjoyed. I'm gonna rearrange this stuff right here and just like see where everything's gonna go. Okay, now it's time for all these. I think I'm finished, which is kind of crazy to say, but I think I'm finished. And it only took me an hour and like 20 minutes, so that's really good. I'm going to go try to figure out where I'm gonna put this box. It's just filled with other trinkets. The extra boxes of my Sunny Angels, I'm not putting them on display anymore. But I don't know where to put this, so maybe right here. Let's see if this fits. Wait. Low-key a genius. I think I fixed it. And I'm gonna show you my official, I guess it could be a room tour slash book tour. I actually love it. I actually love it so much. I think I know where everything is. I think since I mostly have copies of books that I've already read, it's like easy to know where everything is. And I guess that's for like everyone's bookshelf. It's just like, you know, but maybe you don't know. Hi, I have the mic. And so now I'm gonna be able to talk and not be behind the camera so the audio sucks. But I'm gonna show you this. I'm gonna show you, oh my God, my hair looks so good. Wait, that's crazy. I'm gonna show you this bookshelf, but first I'm gonna show you the area that it's in. This bookshelf right next to my desk. Desk is right over here, and then that's my nightstand. This little corner of the room, I have a Luke Hemmings poster right next to the bookshelf, and then I have some flowers, and then a Lady Bird movie poster with Saoirse Ronan, and then directed by Greta Gerwig, and then another flower poster right here. My desk, computer, makeup, other stuff, camera, lamp, and then my nightstand, regular like charger. My Kindle's on my nightstand, so that's all you really have to know. This right here is my TBR shelf, and then I have my Stranger Things Steve pop figure, and then a Squishmallow, but these are all the books that I haven't read. Oathbound, this is the third book in the Legendborn series by Tracy Deonn. The third book in the Atlas 6 series, which is the Atlas Complex. The first book in the Last Hours trilogy by Cassandra Clare. Wayward by Amelia Hart. All of Us Villains, A Little Life, Firefly Lane, Hamnet, Maggie O'Farrell, Burst, Mary Otis, Cleopatra and Frankenstein, My Year of Rest and Relaxation, Summer Sisters by Judy Blume, and then I have some classics that I want to read. So Rebecca by Daphne DeMar, Pride and Prejudice, The Great Gatsby, and then Frankenstein. So that's that shelf. Going below, I have 4 Heartstopper books. I don't have the third one, but I've read the third one. Then I have some of my Sunny Angels, but the books right here, we have Just for the Summer, Abby Jimenez, and then Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, Before I Let Go, and This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan, 7 Days in June by Tia Williams, The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston, A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston, Check and Mate by Allie Hazelwood, Love Theoretically, and Bride, also by Allie Hazelwood, Daisy Jones and the Six, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and Carrie Soda's Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid, The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, Mary Jane by Jessica Anya Blau, One Day by David Nichols, Little Women by Louise May Alcott, Cersei by Madeline Miller, Funny by Mona Awad, If We Are Villains by Emma Rio, The Secret History by Donna Tartt, and then A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith. The other shelf was mix of romance bleeding into literary fiction. These are like literary fiction, general fiction, romances. Conversation with Friends, Normal People, and Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney, Talking at Night by Claire Daverly, Just Last Night, Between Us, and Mad About You by Vari McFarland, How to End a Love Story by Yulin Kwong. I love this book, so I displayed it. Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky, Little Women by Louise May Alcott. This is the 2019 movie edition, so there's like pictures of the movie within here. These are some fantasy books. A River Enchanted and A Fire Endless by Rebecca Ross, Dance of Thieves and Vow of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson, We Hunt the Flame and Refree the Stars by Hafsa Faisal, and then Heavenly Bodies by Amani Uru, The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer, and then Hello Beautiful by Anna Politano. These are more like fiction books. So yeah, I just put them here because I rated them 5 stars. Below the last little section of this bookshelf, I have Leigh Bardugo books and then some other fantasy books. So the other fantasy books are The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang, The Night Circus and A Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern, V.E. Schwab's The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, Babel by R.F. Kuang, and then The Will of the Many by James Islington, and then all of my Leigh Bardugo books. So I have Shadow and Bone trilogy, so Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and then Ruin and Rising, and then the Six of Crows duology. Oh my goodness, Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. What's this called? The King of Scars duology? King of Scars, and then Roll of Wolves, and then I have some extra copies. So these are hardcover editions of Six of Crows. So I have 2 Six of Crows hardcovers, and then Crooked Kingdom, and then The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo, and then Ninth House Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. That's this bookshelf. All finished, all complete. Going out from here, I have my dresser where I have a lot of my clothes, and then I have some other stuff. I have like a shadow box, and then my Sunny Angel hippers, some other little trinkets. I have one of my gnomes up there, and then around here is the main event. So up here I have, like I said, Normal People poster about the book How Many Loves Do You Get in a Lifetime. This is for Magnolia Parks. And then the Ballad of Songbird and Snakes poster. The trinkets up here, my pickle jelly cat that I got from my best friend Karis, another little gnome, and then a shark pinata. This is supposed to be a Sunny Angel like display, but I like having my Sunny Angels outside, like around my room, instead of just like having it in one specific place. So Karis made this one, these little like, she's the raccoon, I'm the cat, but then I have 2 calico critters right here, and then my Yelena and Bucky from Thunderbolts, little figurines, and then a little birthday crown that she made me for my 21st birthday, and then my Harry's House on CD. So there's that. And then here are the books. I have my special editions of Magnolia Parks, 3 Magnolia Parks books. First one right here, which is green. This one's like a beige-ish color for The Long Way Home. And then I also put my bee Jellycat right here because it's for the bees. It's making it not centered, but I feel like the Jellycat's fun. So I'm gonna keep it here and this not be centered, and it'll be fine. And if you guys don't like it, don't comment down below. Into the Dark edition of the special edition. These special editions are so pretty. Custom end pages on there. Look how beautiful, and it's all like to do with the series and like the book. Yeah, I love these, and I'm so glad I get to display them now because they used to just be on the mega shelf that I had for Jessica Hastings, but I changed that. This is How You Lose in Time War by Max Gladstone and Amal El Motar. Caravel by Stephanie Garber. Powerless and Reckless by Lauren Roberts. Legendborn and Bloodmarked by Tracy Dion. Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. One for My Enemy, The Atlas Six and The Atlas Paradox by L.V. Blake. An Education of Malice and Evocation by S.T. Gibson. And then the Darker Shade of Magic trilogy by V.E. Schwab, which is A Darker Shade of Magic, Gathering of Shadows, and then A Conjuring of Light. And then Gallant by V.E. Schwab. And then I have my Mortal Instrument books by Cassandra Clare. So all 6 of those right there. These are some romance books. Behind here I have Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. Heart Still Beating by Brooke Archer. And then Story Life of A.J. Fickery by Gabrielle Zevin. I have The X-Hex and The Kiss Curse by Erin Morgenstern. Final Offer by Lauren Asher. This is the only Lauren Asher book that I have, but I've literally read 2 books out of the Dirty Air series, all of the Dreamland Billionaire series, and then first 2 books of the Lakefront Billionaire series, which is crazy. I just have one of her books, but then I have Funny You Should Ask, Alyssa Sussman. I bought this one when I first got into reading because everyone said this was Chris Evans fanfic. Not actually, but like the guy was like so Chris Evans coded. I bought it and I read it and I didn't really like it. Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. This is the book that got me back into reading other than If We Were Villains by ML Rio, but this one's the actual one that like made me start getting back into reading. The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sanju Mandara. I'm so sorry. I am actually sorry. And then Every Summer After and Meet Me at the Lake and This Summer Will Be Different by Collie Fortune. I think her newest book just came out, so I might try to get that, but I don't know. I totally forgot to record the rest of the books, but in the rest of this row, we have The Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, The Naturals, Killer Instinct, All In, Bad Blood, and then we also have the Inheritance Games original trilogy, so The Inheritance Games, The Hawthorne Legacy, and The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. We also have Juniper and Thorn by Ava Reed, A Deadly Education by Anaya Minovic, and then Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Meyer. And then behind the middle shelf, we have the rest of the Throne of Glass series, and then in front of that, we have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. So we have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, Good Girl, Bad Blood, and As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. We also have Five Survive by Holly Jackson, Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter, What Happens After Midnight, and The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther, The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, and Belladonna by Adeline Grace. I can't believe I just disregarded all those books, but we have those, so. And then down below, the last section, right, we have Paper Names by Susie Lowe, and then Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin, Red Rising, Golden Sun, Morning Star, and Iron Gold by Pierce Brown, Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco, These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, and The Swimming Kingdom by Tafara Mafi. Fourth Wing, I actually have the first edition, sprayed edges, very limited edition run of the first print of Fourth Wing, so I have that. Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros, Crescent City, Sarah J. Maas, third and fourth book of the Percy Jackson series that I found in a secondhand bookstore when I was reading the series. Oil by Uptown Sinclair. I DNF'd this book, but I bought it for school, so I don't feel bad for DNFing. Persuasion, Sense and Sensibility, and Emma by Jane Austen. Behind my DVDs. The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. Educated by Tara Westover. The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. And then Dune by Frank Herbert. And then these are also some school books. So I have The Celebrated Cases of Judge Dee for my Asian Civilizations class that I had to read. And then also Genghis Khan and the Making of the Modern World by Jack Weatherford. And then my Shakespeare plays that I had to read for my Shakespeare class. So I have Henry IV, Part 1, Henry V, Hamnet, As You Like It, Comedy of Errors, and Titus Andronicus. And then my prized possession right now are my DVDs. I have Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. This is with Jim Carrey, Kate Winslet, Kirsten Dunst, and Mark Ruffalo and Elijah Wood. I don't know who the director is. Actually, I do. Michael Gondry, that's the director. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I don't know the director, but Kate Hudson and Matthew McConaughey. I love this film. She's the Man, Amanda Bynes. I love this film so much. These are like comfort movies. Hunger Games, the first one. Catching Fire, the second Hunger Games movie. Love. Spider-Man Homecoming. I found this and I was so excited. $7 is a little steep, but I bought it anyways. Captain America, the first Avenger. $1. I love this movie. Captain America, Winter Soldier. Love this movie. Marvel's Avengers, the first one. 13 Going on 30. When Harry Met Sally. Ratatouille. Mona Lisa Smile. I haven't watched this, but I love Julia Roberts, Kirsten Dunst, Julia Stiles, and Maggie Gyllenhaal. So, National Treasure. I haven't watched this, but I do love like museum, like heist type of things, and I think that's what this is. Avatar, James Cameron. Silver Linings Playbook with Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence. I've watched like so many Bradley Cooper movies recently, movie and he looks different in every single movie. Like A Star is Born, he's not Bradley Cooper. And then versus like Maestro, he's not Bradley Cooper. Versus this Bradley Cooper, it's like insane to me. It's actually scary. And then the first season of Sex and the City. I've never watched Sex and the City, but I bought it because it was like a deal and I had to have like 5 $1 options to get those 5 items for $2 instead of $1 each. So I just bought this. Here are my DVDs. I'm gonna keep them down here. Okay, so up here I have a little paper chain thing. I have a little calico critter, some Sunny Angels up here, and then my egg jelly cat. Here we go. I have called The Greenbone Saga by Fonda Lee, Beartown by Frederick Bachman displayed, and then Us Against You and The Winners, so completing the Beartown trilogy. And then other Frederick Bachman books, I have A Man Called Ove, Anxious People, and then Bert Marie Was Here. Suzanne Collins' Hunger Games books, except for Sunrise on the Reaping, which is the newest Hamish one. So I have The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, Mockingjay, Ballad of Songbird and Snakes, and then I have A Dowry Blood by S.T. Gibson. I love this book. And then Lovely War by Julie Berry. All of my Magnolia Parks books. So I have the Orion edition. So this is Jessa's version of Into the Dark. There's that. And then I have all the indie covers that are no longer in print of first 4 Magnolia Parks Daisy Hates books. So I have Daisy Hates The Great Undoing, Magnolia Parks A Long Way Home, Daisy Hates, and then Magnolia Parks. And then I have the shoe covers. So this is the book that I annotated and read for Magnolia Parks Into the Dark. Oh my god. Oh, that's so embarrassing. Daisy Hates The Great Undoing, Magnolia Parks A Long Way Home, Daisy Hates Magnolia Parks. And then I have my signed edition that I got from like when she was in California doing a meet and greet one time, and then the Barnes & Noble had extra copies. They went on Instagram and were like, does anybody want to buy an extra signed copy? This one is battered, beat up, but I do have just a signature, so that's fun. It has a little sticker that says signed copy. If it happened again, I don't think I would have bought it, but I bought it. And then I have The Conditions of Will. This is her newest book, Standalone, and then Never by Jessa Hastings. Up on the Magnolia Park shelf, I have 2 little ghosts right here because the 2 Ghosts Harry Styles song reminds me of Magnolia Park series. Here I have all of my Emily Henry books. So I have Beach Read, People We Meet on Vacation, Book Lovers, Happy Place, Funny Story, and then Great Big Beautiful Life. And then I have 2 Little Sunny Angels and then a shark. This is in publication order, so I display all of my Emily Henry books in publication order. So we're getting to the tail end. There's literally not many books left. Holly Black area. I went to her signing and then they gave like a goodie bag. So I have the Prisoner's Throne like book tour thing. I have The Court Prince, The Wicked King, Queen of Nothing. These 2 are signed. How the King of Elfham Learned to Hate Stories, The Stolen Heir, and then The Prisoner's Throne. The Stolen Heir and Prisoner's Throne is a spin-off like duology about Jude's younger brother Oak, and then Book of Night, which is a adult fantasy series that this is the first book. I actually really enjoyed this book. I don't remember much of the book now, but I will reread it when the second book comes out. And then I have Netflix show edition of A Six of Crows, so it has like the actors that play the characters. The Inferno Devices by Cassandra Clare. The first book, Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, Clockwork Princess. Oh my gosh, that's a tongue twister. One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillian. The House on the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. The House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland. And The Ministry of Time by Kayleigh Bradley. And then I have a little gnome right here, and this is a Skull Panda thing. This is my only Skull Panda. The last section, my Brandon Sanderson books that I have physical copies of. I have the first 3 books of the Mistborn series. This is out of order. I have Mistborn, The Well of Ascension, and The Hero of Ages, which is the original Mistborn trilogy. The 4th book of Mistborn Era 2. I bought this by accident. I didn't return it, and I just now have the 4th book out of a 2nd part series that I have to read 3 more books, and then I also have to read all the other books to get into this book, so that's just there. But I have Once Upon a Broken Heart, The Ballad of Never After, and A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber. Then I have this series. Oh my god, this is also out of order. This is so embarrassing, guys. An Ember in the Ashes. I think it's just the Embers Quartet, if you want to get fancy. So Ember in the Ashes, Torch Against the Night, A Reaper at the Gates, and then A Sky Beyond the Storm. These are all by Siddhartha here. And then I have all of Jane Austen's books into this book, but it's just pretty. So I think I could just like display it like that. That's fun. But that's all the books. I forgot that I never showed you the rest of the room. So I'm gonna do it right now. First, I have my bed with all my stuffed animals, and then I have a little cart. So right here, I just have like a basket of stuff, little knickknacks right there, and then my journaling supplies. Then this bookshelf with the paper chain thing. These posters up here on the wall. A role model poster, 10 Things I Hate About You. Then I have a Happy Place poster, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, a Guts Olivia Rodrigo thing. I just got these all off of Pinterest. Dead Poet Society, Folklore, and then Little Women 2019. La La Land, Gracie, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, Evermore poster, Maine by Noah Khan, it's a song. This is Harry Styles' Fine Line, but like matchboxes, so that's fun. And then Good Will Hunting. The last poster I have on the wall is season 4 of like Stranger Things. But then also I have little things on this side of bookshelf. So I have, you've seen this in my videos, I have another of the same print of How Many Loves Do You Get in a Lifetime, and then a little card that Karis made me for my birthday one year. So yeah, that's my room. It feels just so me, doesn't it? It just feels so me. My room used to be so bare before I did all the posters and the books, so I'm really happy with it. I love it so much, and I'm so excited to just have all my books around me. I just think it's just like fills up the space. Honestly, if I were a fangirl, like what would my life be like? So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this bookshelf, rearranging, reorganizing, putting stuff on the shelves, a little bit of like a room tour. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below any like reading vlogs that you want me to do, or even like some sit down videos. I don't really do sit down videos, but if you guys want something like that. I also have to figure out where I'm going to put my pyramid wall. I wanted to do it in the closet right there, but I don't know if I'm gonna have to use another like blank wall in the house. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!